Yo, with all of these players opting out, I got my glove, I have some bats over here, I'm ready to go. Yo, Indians, you could sign me for $20,000. Sure, you might have to give me a couple months to get back in shape because I'm kind of looking like Pablo Sandoval over here. But you know what? I'm ready to go. We're all going to be professional baseball players by the time that this video is over. So guys, all jokes aside, we have a pretty crazy MLB recap on our hands today. We have a scary situation that happened out in the Bronx with Giancarlo Stanton and Masahiro Tanaka. If you did not see the video, I will warn you guys before we show it later on. Masahiro was hit by a comebacker. He's okay, so that's why I feel alright with showing you guys the video, so we'll talk about that. We also have David Price sitting out the 2020 season. The Dodgers just traded for the guy, and now he is going to be sitting out, and how that affects the Boston Red Sox of all teams. We also have King Felix, who is opting to sit out. We have a couple huge stars in Major League Baseball getting the corona and testing positive, so I mean, again, 2020 just continues to berate us and give us situations that we have to figure out day in and day out. But yeah, that's the timeline of today's video. A lot to talk about. But first off, again, I showed you guys the picture of Pablo Sandoval. This was me before quarantine, and it's also me after quarantine, so I definitely have to get in shape. Also, one more quick little thing I want to talk about before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's video is happy birthday to Shohei Ohtani. I would say that if Babe Ruth had a time machine and came all the way to 2020, there's only one player that he would ask an autograph from, Shohei, because I think Babe Ruth and Shohei Ohtani, they're in a class of their own as being the best two-way superstars, both in the box and on the mound, because honestly, there's not one guy that has done it as good as Shohei Ohtani since Babe Ruth. So my hat has been tipped to Shohei for quite some time because the dude is just an absolute animal. But guys, we have to talk about David Price, how it affects the Dodgers, how it affects the Boston Red Sox, because if you don't remember, the Boston Red Sox were actually paying half of David Price's contract. So if you do the math, and in today's video, we're actually going to do correct math because 24 hours ago, I said that 14 plus 4 was 28.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid.
David Price is going to be saving the Dodgers $6 million, and he's also going to be saving the Boston Red Sox $6 million because the prorated salary for his contract was $12 million in 2020. What does that mean? The Dodgers now have some freed up money to re-sign him in 2020, or they can use that $6 million towards Mookie Betts. And the same thing goes for the Boston Red Sox. They have done a really good job at clearing the deck in terms of freeing up payroll for 2021. They might be able to re-sign Mookie Betts. It could definitely happen at this point. So if you're a Dodgers fan, one, it sucks because you're not going to have David Price for the season. And two, the Red Sox now have $6 million more free dollars to put towards a free agent splash in the next offseason. So if you're a Dodgers fan, honestly, your saving grace is going to be having to take away my favorite player and superstar, Francisco Lindor. So use that $6 million, try and get Mookie Betts, try and get Francisco Lindor, at least attempt to trade for the guy, because honestly, David Price was a huge piece of the puzzle of winning the World Series now, this year, and going forward. So that really sucks if you're a Dodgers fan. But also, Dodgers fans really like to clown on me because Lindor was on the trading block for quite some time. So I don't know. Take it for what you want. Now, the second player, does it affect the team or not? Currently, who knows? King Felix, he was vying for a spot in that rotation. He was actually really good in spring training. He lost some weight. He had some movement on his pitches. He looked like he was primed to be a 4 or 5 starter, but he's saying because of his family and the fact that he has young children, he, just like David Price, will be sitting out the 2020 season. So I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below, what do you make of all of this? And also, do you think that we're even going to play baseball this year? I asked that question because DJ LeMahieu, the star second baseman for the Yankees, just tested positive. Miguel Sano just tested positive. Same with Salvador Perez. And Aaron Nola, we don't know if he has it or not. He might have been in contact, so now he has to go in self-quarantine with someone who's already tested positive. All of these guys are big-time players, in my opinion. And if they're not playing games for their squad, they might be losing out on a couple wins because, DJ LeMahieu was like a 4 or 5 win guy in 2019. Miguel Sano, he's pretty decent with the bat and with the glove. Salvador Perez, big part of that Royals offense. And then if Aaron Nola misses time for the Phillies, you pretty much have to wipe your hands clean because he's their ace. He is someone that has to be a workhorse for them if they're going to make the playoffs. Now, I do want to say Sean Doolittle came out with a very lengthy response. I'm not going to read all of it, but pretty much what he's saying is that, what are we doing as a country? Because he's pointing out the fact that as a kind of society, we're worse off now than when we were before quarantine, simply on the basis that cases are still going up because there's more testing, and then the whole situation with politics, I'll just leave it at that. He's pretty much saying that sports should be a reward for a functioning society, not a society that is regressing and becoming worse and worse as the days progress. So let me know your opinions on that as well. Are you on the side of Sean Doolittle by saying, I think that we're rushing this, or are you on the side of Major League Baseball and the NBA by giving sports, it gives the American people a reason to stay inside and watch a game from their house and all that different stuff? Again, 2020 is just one of those years that there's really not a solid answer to any question that I ask you guys, but at least you can give me your opinion. We can try and have a majority vote in the comment section down below, or not. I'm definitely up for a conversation. Now we have to talk about Masahiro Tanaka again. The players of the Yankees came out and said it's really bad that this video got leaked, but because he's okay, like, prayers up to Tanaka still to this day, because I saw a TikTok a couple days ago how a girl was hit in the head by a foul ball by Bryce Harper, and then 6 months later she started getting headaches. So this is something that can have long-lasting effects. So if you missed it, again, I do warn you guys, it is a little tough to watch, but the fact that he's okay, I'm all right with it.
Carlos Stanton lined a pitch right off the right side of the head. Masahiro Tanaka. Tanaka went down immediately, stayed there for several minutes. Stanton was visibly upset. Remember, he got hit in the face with a fastball a few years back.
Price and King Felix sitting out because they want to avoid, the DJ LeMahieu and Miguel Sano and Freddie Freeman situation. Now, what's funny about that is Miguel Sano is asymptomatic. He's not showing any symptoms. He's completely fine. Whereas Freddie Freeman, someone who never gets sick, he is literally feeling like crap, and he's never felt this way in his entire life. So it's so strange how it can affect one person and then the next, and then that leads to people saying it's a hoax. I'm going to go ahead and get off the subject just for today, because who knows what kind of debates we're going to have in the comment section down below after today. Last but not least, before we get into this day in Major League Baseball history, I do want to show a clip from A-Rod talking about how NBA should be the leading example for Major League Baseball going forward. He pretty much said that we should clone what they're doing in their body of work by miking up players and making the game more accessible on an entertainment basis, because if you guys did not know, Major League Baseball easily has the highest age average, if that makes sense. So NBA is probably like 30, 40-year-olds. Maybe the NFL is 25, 40-year-olds. MLB is approaching 55 to 60 years old. So we need to lower that demographic, and A-Rod thinks he has a solution.
It's by working together, getting along, and saying, how do we make it better? And you're going to do it through miking players, access. The Kardashians have taught us more is more, less is not more. Not in 2020, not in the future. You have to open up the floodgates and clone what the NBA and the NFL has done so well. Oh boy, these videos continue to knock me off my feet every single day. I truly don't know if there's going to be a 2020 season. I mean, all of this stuff. Sean Doolittle is speaking out. All of these players are testing positive. You have players sitting out. And I just don't know. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and drop some knowledge. We're gonna talk about some events that happened on this date in Major League Baseball history. Hopefully there's some cool stuff, because yesterday, while it was cool, wasn't anything really significant. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed today's video, as well as subscribe. And yeah, enjoy this day in Major League Baseball history. Stay safe. That's all I got.
In 1947, Cleveland Indians owner Bill Veeck purchased the contract of outfielder Larry Doby from the Newark Eagles of the Negro American League. 2 days later, Doby would play in his first game, becoming the first African-American player in American League history.
Here's a drive to right center field. That is really hit. It's well back, and there is home run number 100 for Mark McGwire. Mark tags them all. What a blast that was. Wynn has been tough with 2 strikes. And he's out on strikes reaching. That's 3,000 for Roger Clemens, who strikes out the side. Roger Clemens becomes the 11th Major League pitcher to hit the 3,000 mark.
Ducks on the pond, you want to make sure your concentration heightens.
Deep into center. Griffey going back. Far back. He's under it. He's at the wall. Gone. A home run. He's got 101 before the All-Star break.
Single, double, triple. Shot at the cycle. He hits one deep to right field. And Luis Gonzalez hits for the cycle.
It went in order: double, single, triple, and now home run, and 4 runs scored for the former Astro Luis Gonzalez.